With that, here we go. Looks like Samir and Dilly getting started. I think you're absolutely right, Chris. I think it's going to be a lot closer than anyone had anticipated. We got some funky lighting going on too. Oh, this is great. Buckle in, everyone. Grand Finals, PSL Seattle.
It's a disco ball final here.
Love it. I mean, look, it's at a game arcade, right? Which is amazing. It's what an incredible environment to be around. Just I can hear Wheel of Fortune sounds in the background. There's air hockey. There's other Looney Tunes cartoon games going on. It's crazy. What a world of speedcubing we live in. Samir now set the pace in this grand final. Looking quite smooth. A great solve. The first sub-5 solve of PSL Seattle goes to Sameer Aggarwal, 4.73.
Amazing start for Samir in this final. He gets us soon into a really well-executed U-perm. You can see that on yellow cross he has a free pair here, and I'm not sure if he took advantage of it. He definitely did with the X cross there. Look at that soon. Look at that U-perm execution. 473, his first sub-5 of the tournament.
Yeah, that is amazing. Amazing stuff from him. That's the fastest time we've seen so far. What can Dilly do on the same scramble? Another lightning fast solution, and he's won it with 447 to win sub-5s back to back. Oh, man, what the... Wow, grand finals.
What a start. This is 2 sub-5s. We haven't seen any sub-5s the entire competition, and now we've seen 2 back-to-back, and somehow Samir is not coming out with a victory here. And just an incredibly short solution here on yellow, it looks like. Also a U-perm, great execution from Dylan.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from our 2 finalists who will finish first and second. Do Kwang Hung earlier getting third place. Another yellow cross, it looks like, is going to be the choice for Sameer Aggarwal. Looking quite smooth. Got to last layer quite quickly. Once again, a +2 is going to spoil this one, though. 8.44.
The fluidity was there on that solve, but he was locking up a little bit, and then obviously the +2, that's going to kill it for him. So it looks like he carried over a fair bit of momentum from that 4, but not quite enough, and still kind of struggling to turn at some points.
I mean, if you're Dylan,
is a little bit difficult.
If you're Dylan, I feel like you got to feel pretty good about what Samir just put up there, because he was turning fluidly, which means that there's a solution, and he +2'd, which means that if you do the exact same thing, you're just going to win. And he's going to get another sub-5. Dylan Miller on a day where he has not looked himself. 2 sub-5s in a row. 4-4-4-5.
This is a bit of a commentator's blessing here. We're not used to that. We were just talking about how Dylan hasn't looked like himself today, and he comes out in the finals after a very long break in the tournament, and he's come out with 2 mid-4-second solves.
Just wow. Dylan Miller, everyone, ahead of the national championship. This is the exact type of prep that he wanted. And wow, he is showing us that he is a competitor through and through. He is not going down. Samir, 6.17. Great solve from him.
Both these competitors have definitely brought their A game for this final. I mean, 6.17 is very good, and that's better than what we've been seeing from Samir in the previous rounds. Let's see what he decides to do here. So, white cross, pretty simple F2 out here, but he does the OLCP there that I don't see very often, but it seems like he does that relatively often, and he was prepared for it.
Are we going to see 3 in a row? Can Dylan Miller put something together? This one looking not quite as good, but perhaps a free pair that is in his front right. If he can preserve that, he might be on a magical run here. Looking pretty decent through his turning, a long F2L, trying to recognize ZB, messing it up a little bit. He's going to lose this one, 7.5. Samir 1, Dylan 2.
You were mentioning the free pair, and he did definitely preserve it. And he even knew the ZB there. It was a 2GLL, but he wasn't able to pull it out.
Another free pair built right at the top. A couple of other pieces are oriented. Samir taking a long time in inspection to see as deep as possible. Looks like we're going to be treated to some good scrambles in this grand final. A 7.28. You could hear that little tap of his practice cube. He knows that that's not going to be good enough.
You're right, and again, it's the fluidity is there, but now he's locking up in his turns, and that's not something you see as often because normally when you're turning fluidly, it means that you know what you're doing and you're not hesitating for anything, and that kind of calms the nerves sometimes. But it seems like here he's just locking up under the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he kind of like missed an F or F prime or something, but then realized that it would just cancel anyway. But like, that's not really what you want to do. You don't want to miss a turn and then realize that it would have canceled. 7-2-8 now the time to beat, and very comfortable for Dilly here. Set 1 has flown by 5.87, excuse me. The time on this one, 1-0 is the score in this grand final. Dylan is looking to clean this up. All talks of the bracket reset. He wants none of it.
Yeah, he's taken a bit of pressure off of himself because he's not too in danger of going into a bracket reset here. This is a huge advantage to win that first set here. And on that solve in particular, even though he had a bit of a long OLL, he executed his PLL very well. And obviously a 7.28 is a bit of cushioning for him to win that solve.
And here we go, set number 2. Grand Finals, side 1. Dylan still up, has a match to give against Sameer Aggarwal. We've seen some great solving from these two so far in Grand Finals. Can they keep it up? Dylan looks like he's pretty locked in. Well, he looked really locked in on that one orientation, turned it, and then went back to the exact same one. Wow, just a great solve. I mean, it looked like he got OL skip, I think, 541.
Yeah.
Can't ask for much better.
Inserted his last pair into the back with the U2 insert. This is a pretty easy cross on white. He already has 2 pieces in there, and he also preserved the red-green pair there. Yeah, right there he does a U2 to insert his last pair to get that OL skip into the U-perm.
5 great solves from Dylan so far.
12 seconds.
Samir needs to be 5-4-1, possible, but of course going to be tricky and actually impossible at this point. Just not a good enough solution in F2L. 8.19. That's going to be his 1-0 to Dilly.
Yeah, so once again we're seeing Samir's turn and falter a little bit at the end here, which definitely isn't what he needs because Dylan is putting down some incredible times here. That last U-perm he messed up earlier in the competition. It was that grip that I was telling you about that is kind of newer school that a lot of people tend to mess up, and he messed it up earlier, but right there he was able to nail it.
We are granting it. We'll come back in an intermission shortly.
Seems like Samir calling his 2-minute timeout. Not a bad time to use it, certainly. A great time for me to tell you, actually, within the last 5 solves that Dylan has done, if you did that at a WCA competition and calculated an average of 5.23 would be the average between those. And that's counting both a 4-5 and a 5-8 in there.
And that is just 0.02 off of his PR average. So incredible solving from Dylan here after a pretty long break too. And for Samir, I think this is a really good timeout actually, because as I was saying before, a lot of times you may not want to take a timeout when you know the solves that you need, like when you know the time that you need to get, because it gives you too much time to think about the time that you need to get. But here, Samir doesn't know. There's no pressure here. He really is just using this to kind of reset his turning and get everything in check.
Yeah, good use of the timeout, I think, overall. Not bad. And I mean, I feel like you're not really going to slow Dilly down at this point. Like, after coming off with such a flyer, like he's got that gusto back at him, and that's the Dylan Miller that we like to see. It's so fun watching Dilly when he's full of confidence and he's solving well, because he really is on top of the world. He didn't finish top 8 at Worlds for nothing, right?
I was smelling smoke before the
it's
fire alarm
amazing,
went off,
amazing.
And then when it went off, I'm like, holy shit, maybe this place is on fire. But it's just these Zowie cams overheating.
30-second warning. As a reminder, Dylan is up 1-0 in the second set. Dylan is also up 1-0. The format of this match is best 3 out of 5, first to 3 sets. There is a potential for a bracket reset if Samir wins this match.
Yeah, tries saying that there's a potential for the bracket reset, but I mean, doesn't seem likely at the way that Dilly is solving at the moment. Although this practice solve of 8.56, that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, but winning the first set, I feel like most of the time will take away the chance of a bracket reset here, just because you're clawing your way back to even win back the set.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Nothing looking super fantastic, or at least nothing stands out to me amazingly on this solve. Looks like yellow is going to be his choice. Bit of a pause going into the what looked like the second and third pair to me. 5.91. That's a sub 6 solve. That's extremely strong in a tournament like this.
I don't even know if he plans his first pair here. He kind of paused as soon as he started. Let's see if he either his first or second pair. Yeah, right there, he doesn't know what he's going to be doing, but the rest of the solve was fine, and once again, that U-perm with the really difficult grip, he's able to execute it cleanly.
Samir now also choosing yellow cross. Wow, what a solution from Samir. That's the fastest solve we've seen at PSL Seattle. 4.29. It's just all ended in a blur.
And Samir ties up the set.
That was a great 2GLO to finish that solve. He didn't pause a single time during that solve. I wasn't thinking that this was going to be his best solve, but the finish was just extraordinary. Look at that 2GLO. 4.29, wow.
Yeah, just amazing stuff. Wow. Dylan setting the pace in this set number 2 of Grands. What can he come up with? A 4.75 himself. The sub 5s are all out to play. Dylan Miller, Sameer Aggarwal, just fireworks back and forth. We might be at a risk of another fire alarm going off at this rate.
Were these two sandbagging the entire tournament? I mean, we didn't see any sub 5s going into this final, and now we've seen, what is that, 4 at this point? 4 or 5?
I think 5? Like, yeah, like what is going on? Well, hey, look, I'm not going to complain. Beggars can't be choosers. This is fantastic. 4.75. Is Samir going to be able to beat this? He's going to need a ridiculous solution if so, and it's already all over. Lockup's not going to do him any favors. 8.05. 2-1 to Dylan Miller. Wow, what a grand.
And good for Samir for keeping up with Dylan's 4s. I mean, it's not like Dylan is the only one getting the 4s. Samir has 2 of his own, and he has the fastest solve of the tournament, which Dylan can't say he did that. That was a rough G-perm execution, though.
We have yet to see the sub 4. The sub 4 could come out potentially if one of these scrams is good enough. We could use some more solves in order to see that, though. At this rate, Dylan Miller is going to take home his first PSL gold. Yellow cross. Another great solve from Dilly Millie. 5.38. A low 5. Can't be angry about that. He is actually on another level right now. Like, true Super Saiyan.
His fluidity has come like roaring back in this final. It's unbelievable. Like, where was this fluidity during the previous rounds? It wasn't there at all, and he was seeming like a regular solver, and now his fluidity seemed like one of the best in the world right now.
I mean, he is one of the best in the world.
That is
And
true.
then
It's just
he's showing
we weren't
he's
seeing
showing
it
off
earlier.
why. Oh man, it took a while for the beast to wake up, but he's turning incredibly. And unfortunately for Samir, it looks like it's going backwards. He was turning so well earlier, but unfortunately an 8-second solve here for him. He's gonna lose this set. 2 sets to 0. Dylan is 1 set away from winning his first PSL. Wow.
Dylan needs just one more set. Samir's gonna
Dylan is just putting a lot of pressure on Samir because, yeah, low fives is just really, really hard to not think about doing too much. And it really does look like Dylan is primed to take home his first PSL victory here.
Oh man, if you're Samir, I feel like there's just nothing you can do. You've used your timeout, decent use of the timeout, but I didn't think that there was a way that you could slow down Dylan Miller, and I think I was right about that in the end. Just amazing stuff from Dilly Millie. Like, I don't know what else you want out of the guy. Like, the guy is trying to win the national championship. He went up against Max Park last week. He beat Max Park last week here in Southern California with a sub-6 average. I mean, he's had, one solve over 6 seconds in this Grands? Like, he's looking like the guy. It's amazing. It's his time.
He is, and maybe now that he knows that his first PSL victory is like right within reach, maybe that's what's propelling him to solve so well. And you're right, maybe he is thinking about the future. Like, if he can use this momentum to propel himself to like a national championship, then if he's thinking about that, then that might get the adrenaline going and get him to be solving better. It seems like Dylan is the type of guy who really thrives under that kind of spotlight, and he's showing it right here in these finals. He's solving otherworldly right now.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I was a little bit scared seeing some of his solving earlier because I'm like, I know that he's getting sub NAR averages at home, and I know that he's been grinding. He's been on like a new like routine and everything. He's pulled out the yoga, and he's been seeing some great results at home, some good results in comp. And I was really, really surprised to see him not able to get it going earlier. But this is much more like the Dylan Miller I've come to know recently. And he's got 1 foot already in the door of a PSL win. It's just whether or not Samir can slam that door shut. 724, I mean, that's like a light breeze. That's not going to do much.
Again, no mistakes must happen.
For Samir, it's really tough to not think about the fact that if you want to win this, you have to basically win 5 straight or 6 straight sets. So the bracket will reset if he wins 3 in a row, but it's just really hard to think about coming back from that deficit.
Yeah, I mean, the reset talks are over. Like, there's no way we see the reset anymore. I don't think Dilly will mess up that badly. I mean, definitely a bit of a fumble on this one. He's going to actually drop the first solve. So 1 solve advantage to Samir.
I think Samir's only way to get in Dylan's head and give himself a chance to win this is if he's able to pull off the scenario that happened in PSL Sacramento where Ethan Jan was up 2-0 and Heidi Chan was down to her last solve 2 times. When she was able to pull off the upset in those, it really put a lot more pressure on Ethan, even though he still had the advantage. So if Samir's able to do that here, he might be able to get Dylan's gears turning, but it's going to be really, really tough the way Dylan's solving.
Yeah, certainly, and it's an uphill battle. No matter which way you slice it for Samir, he's got a lot to work up against.
Samir,
in set number 2 now. A 589 for him.
Back down. Our Pacific Northwest legend, world champion in square one, staying strong.
Yeah, great call from Chai there. I mean, yeah, just great solve. That's what you need in order to stay in it.
Looks like there's a free pair here on white, so Samir must have taken advantage of that,
Yeah,
and Dylan's about to as well.
Yeah, he took some good advantage of it, it seems. I mean, he got to last layer extremely quickly. He's going to blow it out of the water. 555 for Dylan Miller. levels it up 1-1 in the third set. The potential final set. We're down to the last several solves, it seems, as Dylan Miller looks like is going to close this one out. Maybe never say never, though.
And that was a nice OLCP there. And for Samir, I mean, it's just demoralizing that he's putting down his good times, but they're still not good enough. But
well,
here is
got
another
free pair
on, yeah.
And like a fully workable free pair too, it seems. WOL now into what looks like an A-perm, 609. Quite a good solve, but yeah, that lockup was not doing him any favors here, especially when Dylan is solving so well. He's going to get that free pair to work with too.
Samir's actually been struggling with this R-perm a little bit this competition. It's a bit of a newer algorithm, not one of the traditional two that you see. Dylan uses a different algorithm as well, but it's been a bit of a struggle for Samir this competition.
Same orientation. Dylan has his Cuban as Samir, perhaps thinking of the same solution thus far. Very similar, it seems. Different Ola, and looks like he's going to get a different last layer. He's not going to beat 609 in the end. 6.49 is what he got. And a +2, but whatever, that doesn't really matter. Samir 2 solves to 1 in set 3, and you know what? Samir's actually not going down without a fight.
He's not, and he's putting a little bit of pressure on Dylan. Dylan is showing a bit of the nerves getting to him. That was just a really, really unlucky last layer case there. It seemed like his F2L was on pace to beat Samir's time, but that OLL into a Y permutation is not good.
No free pair shenanigans here from what I can tell. So Samir is just going to have to come up with his solution entirely on his own. Looking smooth. This is the Samir that we liked seeing earlier. A great ZBLL there, 6.43.
Let's see what Dylan does here.
Looked like there he utilized the EO ZB correctly that time because he knew the ZB, but I think Samir knows that at this point a 6.4 isn't really what he needs in order to secure wins. Yeah, right there's Ho. Does a 2 GLL after he orients his edges.
On the same scramble, Dylan Miller to beat 6.43. It is set point for Samir, so he'll want to avoid handing the set to him. So can he beat 6.43 and stay alive? Yes, he can. 5.71, another sub-6 solve for Dylan Miller. Tied up for 2-2. And this could be the final solve. It could be tournament. Actually, it is. It is tournament points for Dylan Miller. Samir must win this solve to stay in the tournament.
Yep, championship point for Dylan. What could be his first PSL victory in about 4 tries for him.
Samir now, great turning, looking so good. 5:22, what a competitive time.
Has unbelievable composure by Samir here. You know, his turning has just been so clean this entire competition, but you'd expect him at least, you know, this could be his final solve of the tournament, but great turning there, great execution of that OLL as well.
Now, Dylan knows it as well as we all do. This could be it. 5:22 to win PSL Seattle. Otherwise, Samir stays alive for at least one more set. This is not going to be it. Samir's stolen a set off of Dylan Miller. One more set at least.
More work to do for Dylan. He needs to earn his first victory here. He's not going to get it handed to him. Yeah, and just too many moves on the third and fourth pair there. Also messed up his cross. So, yeah, 5:22. What a great solve from Samir in that for the final time. I mean, his back was against the wall there.
Yeah, I mean, what a time to get a solve like that. And what a time to be in a headspace to put yourself in the position to get a solve like that, right? So many guys could just be like, this is the last solve, and you know it's over. Kind of like let that get to them. Samir, otherworldly mental control, just fantastic stuff. That's what we would expect to see from the world champion.
8 seconds. 12.
I mean, looks like a like a 4-move white cross or like a 3-move white cross or something. So this is gonna be a crazy scramble.
And Dylan with a
At 550, amazing solve there. Samir also is going to get an opportunity on this scramble now. Looks like, yeah, like 4 edges are solved relative to each other, and then the other one is like, can be slotted in super easily.
Yeah, and that first pair didn't move at all. It was a bit of a bad Olo case there. And Dylan knows that he could have executed that a little bit better. He was shaking his head after a 550.
Is he really not even inspecting white? Unless he's going to do some... No... Yeah, no, he didn't even inspect white. It looks like just went for yellow cross immediately. And I feared Samir basically threw this solve away in inspection. 9.82, yeah, that's just not it.
Yeah, I didn't see what was on yellow when we were looking at Dylan's solve, but yeah, a bit baffling there that he didn't go for white because it looked very easy and easy to track your first pair and everything too, so bit of an interesting decision there by Samir that might have cost him.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, getting one solve against a great like Dylan Miller is huge, especially when you know you're down in a grand final. You not only need to win the set, you need to win the next set just to reset the bracket. Just surprising stuff from Samir. Here's Dilly now, kind of fumbling a little bit. Thought he might have twisted a corner or something. An 8.39. I think he's going to end up giving one back to Samir. Some strange solving all around.
Yeah, just too many moves here. He fumbles right there, and then he does... Oh, yeah, you're right. He did not twist the corner, but he almost... He thought he might have, so...
He thought, yeah.
And then the Z-Perm, just all around, like, not a good solve. Definitely one he wants to forget about completely.
Looks like there's a free pair here on yellow. It's going to be the red-green free pair. Yeah, just instantly used by Samir. It's good stuff from him. He should easily beat 839. Yeah, very comfortable. Very, very clean stop of the timer. 6.15 to take 1-1, even it up.
Bit of a cleaner execution here, too, on the R-Perm. The one that he was struggling with earlier. It's still not like perfect, but much better than he's been doing. And that's a very nice OLL. And yeah, smart idea there to stop the timer cleanly.
Yellow, I think, is what Dylan is going to pick here. No, white cross. I was completely wrong. Good of him to show me wrong in moments like this with a 5.20. Fantastic stuff.
Once again, executing this Olo very, very well. This is something that I myself struggle with a lot, and maybe that's why I'm in the booth and not at this competition, because I haven't seen anybody mess that Olo up yet.
Great work from Dilly Millie. 520. It's a tough one to beat. Can Samir do it? Samir has the best single on the day, 4.29. He's certainly a solver of high enough caliber, but not able, it seems, to get this one to go. A 9-second solve for him. 2 solves to 1 for Dylan Miller, and it is a match point yet again.
I don't think it was going to make the difference there, but I think he got a different case than he thought. He thought it was going to be that Olo canceled into a T-Perm, but it was the wrong case.
Dylan Miller now, solve number 4, set number 4 of this grand finals. It's PSL number 4 for Dilly Millie. Is this going to be the final solve? That'll crown him a champion. 6.32. He's shaking his head. I bet he doesn't think so. But that is a pretty competitive time. Sameer's been solving well, but even his good solves are hovering around like the low 6 range. Certainly possible.
This could very well be it for Dylan's first victory or Sameer's loss here. He needs to stay in this.
Can he beat 632? White cross is the choice, it seems. Over 12 seconds of inspection used. Cleanly starting the timer. Is he going to beat 6.32? Looks like he will, and he's going to stay alive for at least one more solve. Time for tournament point number 3 in this match.
And now, if he wins on this deciding solve, then it's 2-2, and then we could be looking at a bracket reset. But again, insane composure here by Samir, the GC perm that everybody messes up. He's really, really making Dylan earn his first victory here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Samir doesn't really even have that much to lose. Like, you know, when you're down 2-0, you've kind of already written yourself off in a lot of cases. But Samir doing a great job to kind of hang in there, just roll with the punches. And Dilly, I mean, another great solve from him, 6:05. This one could be it too.
Again, he knows that it could have been a little bit better because there are some lockups here, but like you said, this is a really competitive time, and this could be it once again. I mean, these solves that Dylan are putting down can definitely win him the entire tournament, but Samir is giving him a run for his money.
Remember, even if you don't solve your best, you just need to be at least competitive. Dylan has done exactly that here. Yeah, it isn't a 4, but it could just win him the entire tournament right here. I mean, and with that lockup, that's going to seal it. That is it. Dylan Miller, after 4 PSLs, the face of PSL has finally won gold. Congrats to Dylan Miller over Sameer Aggarwal here in 4 sets in grand finals.
Congratulations to our winner, guys. Dylan Miller is your new PSL.
Dylan Miller is your new PSL champion. I don't know why Marinik cut off good old John Epley as he was making that announcement. You saw there the top 3, Samir getting second place, and Do Quang Hung from Vietnam. Somewhat random. I didn't even know that he was going to show up to this until like last week. But he's here. He got $100 for his effort. Not too bad. Some incredible solving all around. Chris, your moment of PSL Seattle.
The moment has to be grand finals. We were seeing some struggles throughout the competition from everybody, basically, especially Dylan, who we expected to just completely wash in this finals. They both completely delivered in grand finals, pulling off multiple sub-5s. Samir getting the fastest solve of the competition with a 4.29. But I think the moment for me is Dylan's ability to stay composed when Samir was not letting him win. I mean, Dylan was putting up low 6s and Samir was somehow still beating them to prevent him from winning his first PSL. But Dylan stayed composed. He was still able to pull off some really good times, and that earned him the win today.
Yeah, I mean, just amazing solving right there at the end. I think that's an instant classic between Dilly and Samir. Even though it didn't go the distance, just the quality of some of those solves were just amazing stuff. Anyway, with that, it's time to wrap up this Speedcubing TV broadcast of the Premier Speedcubing League. Huge congrats to Dylan Miller for winning his first PSL. On behalf of the entire broadcast team, the entire ground team at GameWorks Seattle, Chris Yen, my co-commentator, this has been Manu Singhal. It's been an honor to bring you this broadcast, and we'll see you all next time.